So, Tom,
Yeah?
do you reckon we shoot this?
Alright, welcome to episode 2. My name's Tom Welsh. I'm a DOP, cinematographer, depending where you're from, based out of London. And this is a new series of vlogs that I'm doing. Got one of those little DJI Nanos, little 2-part camera, cool bit of kit. Clamping that on whatever camera or piece of kit I can, trying to take you along for the ride. This is April and May, maybe just edging into June, a bunch of footage. If you watched episode 1, thank you so much for all the bunch of comments and loads of messages. Yeah, super nice. I've obviously had this kind of ticking along in the background for a while, but it was really satisfying to get the first episode out and get a bunch of feedback on that. So yeah, thanks for sticking around. And this is episode 2. So we're starting off at Sachet, shooting a bunch of food, pack shots, got a kind of like tabletop spinner. These are all inserts for a bigger series we're doing about football and food culture, was one of the football clubs. And so we're just taking our time here to shoot some nice rotating plates of foods that people talk about. It's just the kind of joy of having the studio, slowly chipping away. You know, doing this kind of stuff on location would be, you'd be making some compromises or, you know, rushing it a bit more than you might want to. So we're kind of just taking our time, shooting the Venice and Scoopix 16mm. Okay, back with Charlie Watts, and we're shooting a socials unit for Sharp Ninja and David Beckham. I'll be honest, this is really a story for down the pub rather than on the vlog, so I'll keep the details brief. Usually with these kind of socials units, the team is squeezed in, you know, the corner of the location, maybe the studio next door if you're that lucky. We've been fortunate enough to get a totally separate location here, so we can really do the best job we can. Usually these socials jobs are set up for someone with an FX3 or, you know, small bit of kit, not really any lighting, so I'm putting a bit more pressure on myself, taking the Venice today, and we're putting the resource we've got into the lighting department so we can really kind of shape that how we want to. Really happy with how this looked in the end. Thanks to Tupac, the gaffer, and the lighting team. And what's the next one? We're with Nick Grimshaw and Jesse Ware at Bicester Village. It's a nice team, we work with them quite a lot. This is my content phone. It's a 17 Pro iPhone. I just use it for shoots. It doesn't have a SIM or anything. You don't want to mess around with your actual phone if you're trying to shoot with it on set when you got clients. You know, you're going to get like, I don't know, like your partner or your mum calling you while you're trying to shoot. It's just, no. This iPhone is so good for simple car stuff. Single suction mount, the tilter with the motor in it. It is so good. So me and Sam work like this quite a lot, just us two. FX6, old size, the DJI transmission monitors, I love them. I'll need to do a longer video on them at some point. So we're doing sound, that's why I'm touching the little DJI thingy. Kind of love-hate vibes, but you know, I'm sure most people will understand that. And we're back at Sachet. Load it in, load it out. Doing another football job here, different colour shirts. If you know, you probably know. Again, multi-cam affair, same kind of crew, same friends. FX6, Venice. So we're here with 119, the production company. Love those guys, always let me kind of put my own twist on it a bit. It's a bit of a long-winded quad split feed into the DJI like transmission and sending like almost a secondary monitoring system. It's very DIY playback sort of things, but I do a bunch of this kind of stuff on Drive to Survive and a couple of other like long-form shows that it just helps to have this monitoring kit when you don't have the people there to do it. Director is Louis Hollis, and that's legend cam op Zach Levi Rogers, Stefan. So we're back on the road here, busy few weeks around London, getting on a plane for the first time in a little while. Actually, historically, my work for the last 5+ years has been more than 50% international travel. I do, on average, about 50 flights a year. I like to try and be quite calculated with that travel and do it all through One World Airlines when I can, when I get a choice. So fortunate enough to build up a bit of status with them. It's really helpful for extra baggage. With BA I can take 232 kilo as standard, and the hand luggage is really generous. They never check it. The batteries are a bit more difficult now, but in general it's a lot less stress and super worth it if you're travelling a lot. And some days the travel gods shine down on you, and all that status stuff is worth it, and you're fortunate enough to get upgraded. So, Mexico City. Ironically, I was on holiday here about 3 weeks before this job with my wife, but I'm not going to vlog any of that stuff. I'm trying to keep this all work. So this is year 5 for me of shooting the Pritzker Architecture Prize, which I think someone described to me as the Nobel Prize of Architecture. Been all over the world with this team. Abu Dhabi, Tokyo, Athens, and usually how we run it is the client and then myself as kind of director DP. I don't do the interviews, the producer does the interviews, and then we'll hire a local production service or a team, or a couple of camera operators, gaffer, soundy, that kind of stuff. This is kind of a lot of the work that I've been doing for the last 5-10 years. I'm pretty happy about my little monitor setup here. It's 2 of the DJI transmissions, iPad for camera control, iPad for notes, etc. Usually I'd bring a bunch of my Sony stuff, but I admittedly left it a bit late with the carnet for this one. And there was a new rule with Mexico that you got to submit like a Spanish translation the week before, and my old carnet had expired. I used to have a year-long carnet. It just expired and I hadn't put a new one in yet, and I was just buying the Venice, so anyway. So I just kept it. I just brought my DJI transmission stuff, no carnet, little roller bag, kept it simple. But I do prefer, where possible, I don't like the rental house FX6 stuff. It's always battered. It's not designed to sit in a rental house and get used and abused. I find I like all the little bits and pieces on my own kit. Anyway, so we're back on another day in London on a football job.
Trying to charge these, but they don't seem to be responding.
So we're back at more restaurants shooting FX6s. I didn't shoot the Venice this time. Do you know what? It's a bit better suited to the FX6 this job. Yeah, usual rig. We got the DJI transmissions. We got dual monitor, ear techs. I'm all about this easy comms, director seeing everything, us just kind of talking it through. Pretty simple interview lighting setup, 600 into the Betty reflector, which I love. And the Windows just doing the rest on the backgrounds. Not got much time, got to get in, keep it simple, give the director the most amount of time with the talent. That's what it's all about. And we're back at the studio. Is it portrait? Is it landscape? I'm not sure yet.
So yeah, I think let's just focus on that.
So we've got the DZO Probe Zoom, which is a really fun bit of kit. Way better than the original Probe that everybody had and was used. So we're doing some work for Oatley, and me and Kitty are just doing a bunch of pickups before Sam and the client come in. Just spending a slow couple of days getting a bunch of probe, slider, macro, techie stuff that it's just sometimes nicer to do at your own pace. A lot of the time you have to do it with your clients and agency and everybody.
Yeah, let's have an extra.
The kind of beauty of Sasha is that we don't really need to do that a lot of the time.
We'll just shoot.
So yeah, proper 916 deliverable, shooting vertical, not messing around with any extraction. Another day, we're back off to the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal ground. It's not Arsenal the stand there. Doing a bit of camera operating for Boyzone. Would you believe it? On my own kit, slung into a sort of bigger hot cam production, but I kind of get often asked to come in and just do either a kind of like mini doco unit or just sort of look after myself. It is pissing it down with rain. Got the waterproofs out, got the camera bagged up, miserable, and do not get a lot of. You're kind of limited on how many nice shots you can get because everybody else looks miserable that you're shooting.
We are living our best lives tonight.
It's kind of ironic because I'm doing this voiceover in a heat wave a few weeks later. So there you go. I think this is my 4th studio office / kit space in London, not excluding the time before I even had one and the camera kit was in a wardrobe in my bedroom. Our first office in Shoreditch was up on the 4th or 5th floor, tiny lift that was always broken, and about 10 fire doors to get through that you got to wedge or sandbag open. Running out of zip cars, and sort of built it up and up over the years slowly. Been at Sasha 4 years now, but driving the van up to the roller shutter and loading in and out, super simple. Gotta love it, but I don't take it for granted. I remember all of those times before. That's it. That's the end of the. That's the last clip on the card. So I don't have too much to say other than thanks for watching this far, and I'll keep trying to record some more stuff. Give me a shout in the comments. Let me know what you think, and thanks for your time.